Alright, so I'm just prepping my workstation right now to take apart, or take the, I guess take apart, either one works. Take apart this lower intake manifold. I'm going to take this return fuel line off of it, as well as this fuel supply line, which is this bigger one. And then I'm going to take the whole fuel rail system off of it and replace all the O-rings and filters and the injectors like I mentioned earlier, as well as just clean this manifold because, as you can see, it's pretty dirty. Obviously not underneath right there, but everywhere else. So that's what I'm doing right now. Miles, it's just, it really makes you realize that hoses and stuff need to be replaced. I'm not going to be reusing this return line at all. So with the swap, you just put a 1/4 inch injector line to this nipple right here off the regulator, and then run it this way, and then to the, because this is in the middle, pointed to the back of the engine, so then you run just 1/4 inch line off of this, and then it goes to the passenger side with the swap instead of the driver's side. So this used to go down under the intake and then kind of across the valve cover and up. So that whole route gets eliminated of it. Alright, so now I'm going to find out what size this is here. Would you look at that? Should have started with that, apparently. Alright, so, oh, there's still a little bracket down there as well. Put this on. You guys are seeing it all in real time at this rate, so you're watching the struggles as they are happening. We're doing it live, you know? And I think it should be said, if it's not already abundantly clear, that I am not a mechanic. Brady is also not a mechanic. We simply love vehicles and it's our hobby. So if we aren't doing something to spec or to your liking and you are a mechanic, or you're just referencing mechanic knowledge, we aren't those. So we're not going to do everything exactly like a mechanic would do it. We're doing it backyard. We're doing it our way. Obviously, I try to do everything the best in the proper way, but, you know, it's not like, sometimes I don't do everything that way, so there you have it, for those that even care. Alright, so now I'm just going to fish this through here. This bracket makes that a little challenging. There we go. Dropping wrenches, dropping wrenches. Alright, so this is the fuel supply line off the 3.4. I also am not reusing this. This is something that typically does get reused. You just kind of move it a little bit, but I bought the complete new replacement hose off of ORS. So I'm going to add this to that same pile that I added the other fuel line to. And we're going to keep taking this apart. All right. Even though I'm not reusing this either, they give me a new one. I am just going to... Actually, sorry. I take that back. I do reuse this part, so I'm just going to thread it into here. A, so I know that it's this banjo fitting, and B, so it just stays plugged in there. So, all right. Now I'm going to remove these 4 bolts here, and once I remove those 4 bolts, these fuel line or fuel rails on either side, sorry, as well as this regulator will lift off with the 6 fuel injectors. And then at that point, I'm going to, I think I'm going to clean the manifold and then rebuild the injectors. But I don't know yet. I'm really bad at, like, if I'm in the middle of a project, I don't clean up the tools because I'm just going to pull them back out so they end up a little bit scattered around the workstation. Alright, so there those are, and actually, dang it, I ran out of bags. I'll have to go grab some more. And I am going to go grab some more. I've been labeling little snack bags of all the parts for the 3-4 so I know where they go upon reassembly. So I'll be right back. Add them to the pile. So it continues. Okay, so now, like I said, in theory, the whole fuel rail should lift up. Oh. Okay, without the, oh, spilling some fuel, that's why I put rags down. Some sides came out with injectors, some without. It doesn't really matter either way, obviously. Wow, okay, making some fuel, but that's all right. But yeah, so this is why I'm doing this on the injectors. So this is the little, this is where the fuel squirts out into the cylinder heads, right? And look at that. Well, into the intake, sorry, on mine. But you see how there's a bunch of like buildup and stuff, and then these, obviously you can't see this part, but this is also plastic and it's not at all like pliable anymore. So yeah, definitely time. And then the injector, those are very interesting little spacers, don't want to lose those. And then there's little filters in the top of each injector as well. I'm gonna have to get out, so yeah, glad I'm doing it too. Like, look at that one. Gnarly. All right, so those are out. I'm going to take these off too. These are spacers for the bolts. So I'm going to put these in the same bag as the rail bolts so I know that they all go together. gasket I'm gonna buy that I didn't think about. Little coolant. I believe this is the inlet to the engine, so like it's flowing this way. Because this is the front of the engine. This is the one that sticks out of the timing cover. If anyone cares for a reference point, but I'm just taking all this stuff off so I can clean this. I'm putting this little hardware back on because that doesn't matter. Take this sensor off. Gosh dang. Old hoses. Such pain. You know? They just get so stuck. Oh nice, that one wasn't bad. I got like new of these hoses, so I don't care about them, you know, ripping, but I also would prefer to not rip them off. I'm just doing that, not putting them all the way, just once again, just for another thing, so I remember exactly how it went, just in case. And I have a new one of these too. All right, so now that we're torn all the way down to this point, I'm gonna start cleaning it. I'm just gonna put a little piece of tape around this electrical connector because I'm not gonna remove this sensor, just so I don't get a bunch of debris in there on accident or something. But now we can start cleaning this piece. All right, we're gonna start cleaning up this harness and getting it ready to go back on the engine. I'm choosing to do this today because it's really cold outside and I only have a couple of hours because I'm hanging out with my friends today. Now we're gonna start, and I think just for ease for myself, I'm gonna start just on one end and then just work to the other end. And I think in this case I'm gonna start on this end, so kind of funny in a way that I'm starting over here because all of this side is what goes down and back to the transmission, and this is off the donor truck, like I said, the 99. So a lot of this stuff I actually don't need. I know I need this, and it's actually already disconnected, which happened on accident, but it doesn't matter. So I have to rewire this to the pigtail that is my truck, which is no problem, but most of everything else I don't need. But I'm not going to remove anything, like any connectors, until this is in my truck, and then I'll probably just honestly more like tuck away the connectors I don't need and zip tie them out of the way and stuff. But what I am going to do is I'm going to definitely like re-loom all of this part because I know I'm going to have all this part. And yeah, so let's just start. I'm only going to go down this far because I don't believe I'm going to be using any of this or very little of this in the swap because most of this is automatic transmission stuff. parts run for some tape. We're back. So we're ready to start. plastic piece on because it's intact and it goes along the back of the engine. The ones along the injectors, like this one that I just took off and redid, are obviously not going back on. But odd that I'm taking the time to look at this harness, because right now I know I already started the repair before saying anything, but I found my oil pressure sensor wire was kinked, so I'm cutting a small amount of it out and going to redo it here. done freshening up the harness officially. It is ready to be put back on the engine. Can't wait.